Yeah, moving on.
Moving on. Got some little bits of news to talk about.
Some interesting comments from the interim heavyweight champ, which have been cleared up, but yeah, it's still good to talk about.
Cleared up.
Yeah, Nina posted about it.
Yeah, no, I saw she posted about it. And was saying that it's in response to the stuff that he sees on her Instagram story and the questions that people ask her. And
no, the questions that she asks people. Like the
right.
inappropriate stuff that she asks people.
Right.
So he was basically coming out and saying something really inappropriate to get her back for asking all these fighters
Okay.
these weird questions.
Right.
It was all explained. Look, I don't hold Tom in any weird regard. I think he was just trying to have a laugh and it didn't quite hit.
No, it didn't. Like, no, I don't hold him in a weird regard either, but like if I was caught saying something like that, you know, it just seems a bit, hey, you gone?
Maybe he meant like finger, like the middle. Like
I think we all know
someone.
what he meant by finger. But yeah, it was a fun one nonetheless.
Tom, you dirty bastard. Yeah, you dirty northern bastard. Yeah, no, it was interesting. When I first saw that, I was like, wait, what is this? Like, what is he talking about?
I thought it was fake. I thought
Yeah,
it was
same.
AI generated.
So
surely no one
strange.
just says that.
I thought he was maybe like trying to like trick her, or we didn't really get the context. But then like you watch it a couple times.
That's the thing too. Is I saw a clip of it and I thought surely there's some context to this, and I went and watched the full video and no, there wasn't.
It's just an awkward ending to it, and then they moved on.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, Tom, just so you know, I haven't been fingered by a UFC fighter. So
he has.
What else have we got to talk about? The Rock?
Yeah, there was a wee clip of The Rock, Dwayne
The Rocks Johnson.
Dwayne on the rocks. I'll take a Dwayne on the rocks.
The Rocks Johnson.
He said that he wanted to fight in Pride back in the day, when Pride was big. Obviously, they got a lot of wrestlers in to fight. And he said he'd mentioned that he wanted to fight in Pride, which is interesting. Can you imagine The Rock in an MMA arena? It'd be quite insane. Think about how big he is now.
Well, they were all pumping whatever into their systems back then anyway.
Well, he still is.
But yeah. I mean, he couldn't turn around and fight in the UFC tomorrow, could he?
No.
There's no USADA anymore, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of piss test at least that he'd.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is, I don't think he had any like background in high school wrestling, or much at least. Like he wasn't well known for his high school wrestling or college wrestling.
Football player, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I thought it was American football.
American football, and his dad had wrestled before. He also told a story about his dad saying, like, when he told his dad he wanted to be a professional wrestler, his dad was like, "Why? You've seen this life; it's not good. Like, it's shit. This is hard." But he did it anyways, and he's obviously like the most famous person in the world right now.
Is he?
Probably.
I thought that was Andrew Tate. Oh no, he was the most Googled person.
Yeah, most Googled. But yeah, if he fought in Pride, that would have been sick, man. That would have been pretty crazy.
No, it would have been
nutty.
Crazy.
Would have been nutty.
A lot of those.
Chuck him. I want to see him versus Undertaker, UFC 300
versus Chase Hooper.
Who would win that?
Heavyweight championship.
Who do you think would actually win? Like, if that was an actual fight that was on the cards, like somehow it had been made.
Who do I think would win? It's hard, eh? I mean, it's like that Bradley Martin 260. You know, like,
come on, brother.
Come on, brother.
You're a podcast.
I'm 260. You know, I guess it's just a bit of that. Chase seems like too much of a nice guy to do anything, you know.
He just absolutely demolished a fighter in the UFC. So oh no, sorry, Rock. I'm not going to touch.
I'm trying to think of this. Is this in a cage?
Okay, The Rock versus Bradley Martin. Who's winning?
Probably The Rock. See, he's old though, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's probably in his 50s, 40s, late 40s. Sorry.
I haven't seen tape on either of them.
No, neither. I've seen tape on like their knees
with
and their ankles, but not. Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was solid, didn't I?
You want to talk about the drink?
No,
yeah?
no. I just wanted to do that.
Just
I wanted to see if
the
that
microphone
came out.
With your can.
I did. I can do it. But yeah, that would have been interesting. Just a wee point. It's a bit light in the news this week, guys. Obviously, we had a good fight night and we've broken it down. But yeah, there's not that much going on in the UFC world,
No.
in the MMA world. I know that Bellator is apparently officially going to be purchased by PFL on. I think it's going to be announced this coming Thursday, so Friday in our time. So that's interesting, but that's all we really need to know. Like, there's no plan, there's no this that.
Because you came here for Bellator news, didn't you?
Yeah, you came here for Bellator news
to learn about what's going on in Bellator and.
I'll put a comment at the below. Like below the video, I'll say we start talking about Bellator at minute number 39. If you want to skip directly to that.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you came here for news on Bellator. No, you didn't. You didn't even know Bellator was a thing. You probably paused this, Googled Bellator, and then you're like, oh, it's another MMA.
No, I'm pretty sure they came here for the weather report.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
true.
That's the big part.
Feels like.
Feels like 17.
Sold this Thursday.
Feels like no one gives a shit about
It's
Bellator.
18 degrees outside, but it feels like Bellator's for sale.
Cheers, weather report. Imagine they did that. Just dropped a couple bits of news just underneath.
That's great.
34 feels like Tom Fingers Nina. Feels like Tom Aspinall dropped from the UFC roster because of sexual comments.
Oh god, man.
Anyway, yeah. So I thought, because there's not really much news, let's predict our top 3 on the card fights for UFC 300.
Okay.
If you could choose the top 3, main, co-main, and the third fight, what would you pick in an ideal world? But then consider the fights that are coming up, like Volk's fighting.
Yeah.
It's got to be realistic, you know.
Yeah. Ideal, realistic world.
Tell me.
Connor Chandler. That's got to be on there somewhere. And I think just out of spite, like it doesn't make sense, but I have that as the third fight because it's not a title fight.
It's never gonna happen.
It's not though. But I just don't see how. Look, we've spoken about this before. I don't see how they can make UFC 300 and not have 2 title fights headlining it, or even 3. Like what? You know what's stopping that?
What's stopping it?
That fight is stopping it. Chandler versus Connor. So that fight, I think, is what's going to happen for UFC 300. I think that's been like toyed around with for too long now to not happen.
BMF belt.
BMF belt. Michael Chandler at BMF.
Strip Jakey. I was going to say Gaethje. Strip Gaethje of his BMF. Give it to those guys.
Strip Gaethje, the guy who beat Michael Chandler.
Yeah, strip Gaethje. Take him off.
Hey, Gaethje.
Hey, Justin. No.
Gaethje when Straight G walks in. You know?
Yeah, I've seen that. So you're going to put Chandler, Connor, third on the rung.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then what? So Leon's booked.
He is. He'll probably be able to be ready in time.
Okay. Oh, but who wins that? You know, who wins out of Colby and Leon? That's tricky. Let's say you've really lost me now. I can't think. So
You want me to do mine?
yeah, you do yours.
Okay, you have a think.
Yeah, you do yours. What's yours?
So mine would be headliner, Connor Chandler. It's going to be, pretty sure. Co-main, Israel Adesanya versus the winner of Strickland versus Duplessis. That's going to be either the main or the co-main, I think, personally.
That's a good fight.
That would be a good fight, right? And there's enough time-ish, right?
When's UFC going to be?
January. UFC 300.
When's UFC going to be happening? Yeah.
When the UFC?
300? No, it's not happening in January.
No. It's going to be April. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
April around April. So they got
pushing it.
It is pushing it. It's 3 or 4 months. 3 or 4 months.
Sorry, there's just some very strange noises coming from outside. Anyway, 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months after that fight happened, so it could very, very well happen. So if it's my like dream thing, I'm going McGregor, Chandler, headline, Israel Adesanya versus the winner of Strickland and Duplessis, co-main, and then the third fight on that card, Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori as a title eliminator. Who else? Probably not another top. Yeah.
They've booked all the exciting shit already.
Put interim heavyweight gold on the line. Tom Aspinall versus
It's messy.
Cyril Gahn.
So messy. You go put an interim belts on the line, that gets messy.
It's happened before.
I know it's happened before. And look what happened to him. Are you talking about Tony Ferguson, or who are you talking about?
No, he didn't. No, he lost. He got stripped and then he got it. No, I'm talking about who was it? I think it was Diego Brandao. Happened to. I think he had to defend his interim belt. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
No questions allowed.
Fair enough.
So, what are you thinking now? Giving him some time to wreck his brain. What's he going
I
to
just
say?
listened to you the whole time though, and then talked to you. Okay, Connor versus Chandler can headline the prelims. 'Cause it's got to headline something, doesn't it?
Does.
And
then we're just
I
having
think,
2 fights in the main card.
Yep, 2 fights on the main card. We'll have Amanda Nunes comes back, to fight
Wanda.
Ariel Helwani.
Yes, finally.
In his long-awaited UFC debut.
Dana would let that happen too.
He would. And then headlining, because that's the co-main event. Ariel versus Nunes. Brock Lesnar
Versus The Rock.
versus Bradley Martin in the main event.
Okay.
No, Brock Lesnar versus Paddy Pimblett in the main event.
Fat Paddy.
Yeah, fat Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good card, and I think you could be right on a couple of those. I think you actually could be pretty close. Seems like those things are in the works. Like they're leading up to those. Like they've been kind of like leading towards them fights. So yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar and Fat Paddy have been beefing hard.
They have. They have. So, and they've obviously set up.
No, I think they'll sign Dylan Dennis to headline UFC 300
Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if we saw him on that card against like a Paddy or something.
against Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan.
And MMA.
That would be sick. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be sick.
No. It'll be Nate Diaz versus Deontay Wilder headlining the fight.
Yeah, because that was something that was talked about, wasn't it?
It's going to happen.
Yeah. I think we're talking shit here.
You reckon?
Yeah, should we rate the drink?
Let's rate it.
Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this short episode of Combat Corner.
If you like what you see, we've got lots of long form content below and lots of other videos like this, so feel free to go along and check it out. We really appreciate all your support. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, share it around. Have a good day.
Peace.